Jesus' teachings on love are well documented in the Bible, and while he often emphasized the importance of loving others, he also taught us valuable lessons about loving ourselves and our families. In fact, Jesus' teachings on self-love and familial love are intricately linked, as he showed us that our ability to love others is rooted in our ability to love and accept ourselves. One of the most significant ways Jesus taught us to love ourselves is by emphasizing our inherent worth and value. In Matthew 22:37-39, Jesus says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. Love your neighbor as yourself." By including as yourself in this commandment, Jesus is highlighting the importance of self-love. He is saying that we cannot truly love others until we learn to love and accept ourselves. This is not a selfish or narcissistic love, but rather a recognition of our own worth and dignity as children of God. Jesus also taught us to love ourselves by showing us how to practice self-care and self-compassion. In Mark 6:31, Jesus says to his disciples, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." This verse illustrates Jesus' understanding of the importance of taking time for oneself, resting, and rejuvenating. In a world that often values productivity and busyness, Jesus' teachings remind us that taking care of ourselves is not selfish, but rather essential to living a healthy and balanced life. In addition to teaching us to love ourselves, Jesus also provided guidance on how to love our families. In Matthew 15:4, Jesus quotes the Old Testament commandment, "Honor your father and mother," emphasizing the importance of respecting and caring for our parents. This commandment is not just about obeying our parents, but also about showing them love, respect, and gratitude. Jesus' teachings on familial love also extend to our relationships with our spouses and children. In Ephesians 5:25-33, Jesus teaches husbands to love their wives as Christ loved the church, sacrificing themselves for their wives' well-being and happiness. Similarly, Jesus teaches children to obey their parents and honor them, and parents to love and nurture their children. Jesus' teachings on love are not limited to romantic love or familial love, but also extend to our love for our communities and neighbors. In Luke 10:25-37, Jesus tells the parable of the Good Samaritan, which emphasizes the importance of showing love and compassion to those around us, regardless of their background or circumstances. This parable teaches us that loving our neighbors is not just about feeling affection for them, but also about taking action to care for them and meet their needs. Furthermore, Jesus' teachings on love are often illustrated through his own relationships with his family and friends. Jesus' love for his mother, Mary, is evident throughout the Bible, and his care for her is particularly notable in John 19:25-27, where he entrusts her to the care of his disciple, John. Jesus' love for his disciples is also a powerful example of familial love, as he refers to them as his brothers and sisters, Matthew 12:46-50. Jesus' teachings on love are not just abstract principles, but are rooted in his own experiences and relationships. In conclusion, Jesus' teachings on love are multifaceted and far-reaching, encompassing not just our love for others, but also our love for ourselves and our families. By emphasizing our inherent worth and value, teaching us to practice self-care and self-compassion, and providing guidance on how to love our families and communities, Jesus shows us that love is not just a feeling, but a choice and a commitment. As we seek to follow Jesus' teachings on love, we are reminded that loving ourselves and our families is not selfish, but rather essential to living a life that reflects God's love and values. By embracing Jesus' teachings on love, we can cultivate healthier, more loving relationships with ourselves, our families, and our communities, and ultimately become more like Jesus, who is the embodiment of love itself.